Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to another One Piece Search Cruise video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new medal exchange for April 2022. Very interesting medal exchange. As you saw there at the start, Big Mom 600 medals is an absolute joke. People are clowning on this. Very interesting medal exchange marker there for 600 medals. I'm seeing a lot of people debating on whether or not he's worth 600 medals. Personally, I think he is, but I'll go through that later on. We'll start off with the lowest medal tier category and work our way up. I'll also be talking about some of the limited characters for 100 medals that are worth it. In terms of the supporter recruits, completely irregular characters that you can pull on any ticket or any Sugo-Fest, I don't think they are worth it. Certain treasure map recruits or world journey characters that are a lot more limited and that you can't get right now, they're kind of worth it, but it depends on how usable they are in content. But let's start off with the lowest tier category, which is the 150 medals. Sanji, he doesn't have a level limit break yet, and currently he isn't really that great. His 6+ is nothing special. Yeah, honestly, he's really not worth it. When he gets a level limit break, he might be worth it, but as it is right now, nothing too crazy. Shirahoshi, she does have a level limit break now, but nothing too crazy. She is still very usable on like every treasure map where you want a full board of rainbow orbs at the start. So I would say that you can consider it for 150 medals. Having rainbow orbs that can't be changed is very nice. It just allows you to completely negate all of the orb debuffs on the final stage. So pretty nice for that, but I don't really use it besides that. So I'd say minimal use. I'd consider it. She has uses. 250 medals. Here we have Katakuri. This character, I haven't used him in years. Since his release, I only used him a few times in normal quests and then a few times in Pyre Rumble, but he's completely outdated in Pyre Rumble and in normal content. So for 250 medals, I'm gonna have to go with Mayo. So this character, it just isn't good. He's terrible as a captain. He doesn't provide HP. If you're using his special, he only gives a 2x attack boost. If you want his conditional, you need to have him as a captain for your super type, which you just aren't going to be using since he's a pretty terrible captain. For Arlong crew, I'd say this character is minimal use. I use them sometimes for treasure map, to use them for wave clear so that they give everyone 2 tons of cooldown. Unfortunately, they are quite high cooldown themselves, so they're not super usable on most teams. They won't even be ready to activate, so definitely minimal use. I do use them sometimes, but most of the times you're not going to be using them. I'd rather use a character like Rare Recruit Enaru for 2 tons of cooldown, but this character is definitely an option. Then up to the 400 medal tier category. So you have another interesting choice here, which is Tesoro. So Tesoro, I was confused when I saw this. I'm pretty sure he was in the medal exchange before for 250 medals. I don't know why he's 400. I know he has a good limit break expansion as well as a good level limit break. If you have him completely maxed, he's actually quite a beast. But for 400 medals, he's super old and he's not viable in content if you don't have him at completely maxed. So this is quite a joke for 400 medals. I don't think it's worth it. Still not as bad as Big Mom being for 600, but still pretty bad. Tesoro is definitely not worth it for 400 medals unless you really want to use him in content, which I don't know why. Definitely not worth 400 medals. Then for the last character in the 400 medal tier is going to be Whitebeard versus Shanks. So this character, very strong. I would consider it for 400 medals. I wouldn't say they are completely worth it. If you are a new player and you don't have a lot of strong characters, I would say it's worth it. But if you're a new player, you probably won't even have that many Sugo medals. But it's a very good character 2-in-1. Shanks is very good giving enemy defense down, or boost a full board of matching orbs through block. He's a very solid captain to 2 classes and 1 type. No, 1 class and 2 types. No, 2 types and 1 class. So very good, and Whitebeard is also very good giving an attack boost as opposed to an orb boost. He has very good health cut. Obviously the versus effects are nice to have. So I'll just say it's considered because they're nothing special. You don't need them in content. They don't give cooldown as a captain, which is very off-putting for me. I don't like using them as a captain because they don't give any cooldown. But a very strong character overall that can be used in content, just not required. I would consider it, as I said, but honestly for me, I'd say it's a minimal use character, but they're pretty good overall, so I'd say they are in the considered category. Then we have Marco. So this one's interesting. So Marco, a lot of people have been saying that in the 600 medal tier category, you should only have characters that are like super rare, like characters that have super tandem or last tap. Having Marco is an interesting choice, but I think the fact that he is the best XP farming captain in the game makes it worth running him, regardless of the fact that he's not super tandem or last tap. He's also not too recent. Big Mom is a joke. She doesn't have any value. I mean, she's super slow in content. She's just not necessary. Interesting character, very unique, but just terrible. And then we have Marco, which I think is worth it in my opinion. Medals are very valuable, and it's hard to get to 600 medals, which is why I wasn't even able to buy the Super Tandem Roll from last month's medal exchange, even though I really want the character. 600 medals is very hefty. But Marco is insanely valuable in content, not only as a XP farming captain, but he wave clears. He's a very good speed farming captain. He's strong. He has a very strong attack boost. He has a very good chain boost. He has healing. He's very strong overall. He boosts 1 type and 2 classes, so he boosts quite a wide variety of units. He's very good in treasure map as a speed farming captain and for a bit of extra XP. He's good in Kizuna for assists. He's good in point events, even if he's not boosted. Sometimes people make teams just because of his amazing captain ability. He's very versatile, so I'd say this character is definitely valuable. I honestly think his value is kind of on par with Super Tandem Law. Super Tandem Law is very good in Kizuna. This guy is very good in basically every single game mode besides Pyro Rumble and Grand Party. So I definitely think Marco is worth it in my opinion. I wish he was in 400 medals, but he's definitely an interesting pick for the 600 middle tier category. Personally, I'd say he's worth it. A lot of people would just say he's a consider legend. He's definitely not minimal use or the lowest tier here. But that's going to be my ranking for the medal exchange for April 2023. But let's take a look at what some of the 100 middle tier category characters that I think are somewhat worth it. I still don't think you should be buying these characters. You should be saving them if you have a legend that you've been wanting to buy in the medal exchange. But if you have all the legends in the game, or all the characters that are going to come to the medal exchange, and you have a ton of extra medals, then it's not a terrible decision to buy these limited characters. So the first character here is World Journey Blackbeard. Not World Journey. This is the World Clash Blackbeard, who came with the World Clash Luffy and Akainu in a very competitive event that happened a few years ago, where there were 3 quests where you could fight Blackbeard, Luffy, and Akainu, and each of these characters were good for their respective quests. So Blackbeard here, the Akainu and Luffy I don't think are too worth it, but Blackbeard is an interesting unit because not only does he reduce defense up and threshold by 5 turns, which is very valuable, he also is going to reduce barrier by a turn. Now, barrier reduction is very rare in characters. There's only a few in the game that does it, and the fact that this guy also gives an attack boost and that other utility in addition to that makes him awesome to run on teams, because usually barrier reduces just to reduce the barrier and they don't do much else, but he gives a nice 2.25x attack boost to your dex characters and that nice other utility. So I think Blackbeard is worth it. I can see him being used in content today. His attack boost is a bit weird because if you don't have a strength or quick character on your crew, then you aren't going to be getting the 2.25x, instead you'll be getting only 1.75x. But it's still decent to have that, especially if you're running mono decks. Overall, he's not too crazy, but having him will be nice in case there is a very annoying quest with barriers and potentially also damage reduction. I mean, a defense up and threshold. Then we have a world. So these are all the world journey units that I think are worth it. Starting off with Sabo. Sabo is nice because he's a color affinity reduce booster to all of your characters, and he's also going to reduce resilience and attack down by 5 turns. Now you do need 100% health for that color affinity, but it's still 1.75x if not, so still usable. And for 12 turns after Limit Break expansion, he's pretty good in terms of the cooldown. So Saba's not a terrible choice. Koala, I think, is a bit worse. She doesn't have any crazy damage boosting effects. She only has a bit of a chain boost, and she has threshold and bind reduction. So a very interesting combination of utility that I think is awesome. And this is also going to change block and unfavorable orbs into matching. So pretty decent orb manipulation, very good utility, and a very slight chain boost, which is nice. So nothing too crazy from Koala, but I think she's worth it if you don't have her and you have some of the other World Journey units. Crocodile, this is a fan favorite World Journey unit. Since his release, he's been awesome. He reduces burn and attack down by 5 turns, very nice. And then if your captain is striker or driven, which is kind of a shitty condition, but if you do have that, he's going to reduce poison completely and reduce threshold by 5 turns. Now, he's literally only utility, so I don't think he's too worth it nowadays, but the utility is quite unique, that combination. But honestly, just use Bobbin. He gets rid of threshold and attack down, and you can most of the time just stick more burn. So honestly, I wouldn't buy Crocodile, but he's a decent option. And then finally, we have Rebecca, who's going to reduce Special Bind and Threshold by 5 turns. Once again, a very unique combination of utility. And then if your captain is Fido Striker, she's going to boost your entire crew's color affinity by 1.75x for a turn. And then if you hit Perfect, she's going to give a 2x color affinity in the following turn. So multi-stage damage, as well as very unique utility. I definitely think Rebecca's a very good character. I think the Sabo as well as the Rebecca are going to be your most valuable characters. Koala's not a terrible option, and then I don't think you should buy Crocodile actually, looking over what he does again. And then Blackbeard's also not a terrible option. The rest of the characters don't buy, and you support our recruits, you are probably going to pull them at some point, so I wouldn't recommend wasting 100 medals on a character that you might pull tomorrow. So that's going to be it for the medal exchange for April 2023, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe for more content in the future. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.